of the Sulu Part 1. Piracy in the Sulu has a long history of attacks and raid, with the region being influenced primarily by the raiders from the Sulu who originated in the southern part of the Philippines. The Sulu riders were mostly composed of the Ilanon or Iranon and the Samal group of Sea, nomad as well as the influential Taogs aristocrat from Holo Island. They were known in history as a brutal savage, fearless slave raiders and, above all, pirates, hailed from the Sulu region. In the southern region of the Philippines, the Ilanon Balangi Samal, Taogs the tribes raid and plundered the settlement in the Philippines, Borneo, Java, and the trades of Malacca, and all over Southeast Asia in the search for human cargo feed to the growing demand of the slave trade in the 16th to 19th century. In the 16th century, Spaniard colonial Zamboanga, because of its geographic advantage that made it valuable to the Catholic Spaniard to protect their interests, that Spaniard built forts to discourage potential invaders. On December 8, 1720, Raja Dalasi, the king of Bilg in Maguindanao, launched a bloody attack on Fort Pilar, located in Zamboanga City. Raja Dalasi led a 3,000-strong coalition of warriors against 600 Spanish soldiers at the Fort Pilar. They attacked the Zamboanga, burned the town around the fort, cut down the line of provision for the Spanish guards, and began the war against the soldiers inside the fort. Taking the fort will be easy for Raja Dalasi and his fighters. The fort has a structure designed to withstand even the strict force of cannonball. Spanish artillery defends every possible approach to the fort, but Spanish soldiers are vastly outnumbered even with this defense and weapons. Together with his army, Raja Dalasi held only their sword to fight against the Spaniard cannon and firearms. Spaniards are desperate to defend the fort that even used rocks and boiling water against the riders as they scaled the fort walls. Raja Dalasi fighters fight with the desire to rid Zamboanga against the Spanish. The Fort Pilar is the checking point on slave riding going to the north and coming back. That's why raiders are desperate to suppress that Spaniard's presence. They wield deadly weapons, were well organized, and built formidable fast warships that run circle around the bigger and heavy Western ships. These men, either sanctioned by disrespect Sultanate or their own tribal leaders, defined colonial occupation and rule, instigated a wave of terror throughout archipelago for more than 300 years. But there is evidence that they were not merely the savage they were made out to be. Some historians have argued that these are indigenous people merely defending their way of life from the conquering colonial force. Others have said that we need to put this violence and slavery into the proper perspective. This is a story of men who cling fiercely to their faith, including a technologically superior foe. It is also a story of how these men who lived by the sword eventually died it. Whether these described are considered pirate bandits or freedom fighters, but they were excellent marines, builders of the most superior sea-going vessel of their time, fearless warriors and skilled fighters, and their little doubt they earned their place in history of as the riders of the Sulu Sea.